Okay, so imagine waking up and discovering that the Japanese government just banned an entire religion. Not warned them, not fined them, completely canceled them. And no, it's not the religion you're thinking of, because the religion in question is the Unification Church. And this isn't just a tiny group nobody's ever heard of. They've been in Japan for decades. They have money, power, influence, and even have connections to politicians. But now the Japanese government is cracking down on them in a way that has never been seen before. And basically, this is how it went down. You see, the Japanese government went to court to strip the Unification Church of its religious status. And of course, the church tried to fight this decision. But the Supreme Court of Japan upheld its decision. So now, the Unification Church is completely stripped of its religious status, meaning there's no more tax breaks and no more official recognition that this is in fact a religious group. And this is extremely rare because Japan has never done this in decades. So when they do, it sends a very strong message. But how did this come to pass in the first place? Well, the main issue was money. Because for years, actually decades, former members of the Unification Church and their families said that the Unification Church pressured them into giving massive donations. And this isn't like a couple hundred yen. We're talking life savings. And some people were told that if they did this and donated huge amounts of money, it would protect their family spiritually or fix kind of whatever problems they had in their life. But over time, these complaints added up. Families said they were financially destroyed, and children said that they grew up dealing with debt because of all the donations their parents made. And eventually, the Japanese government just said that there was enough evidence of serious harm being done that we need to put a stop to this. And the court did agree that the unification's methods went against the public good, which is the key reason behind this complete cancellation of an entire religion. But here's where the story gets a little strange, because in 2022, former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated, and the man who shot him said his family had been financially ruined because his mother donated large amounts of money to the Unification Church. And when the shooter said this, Japan was shocked. And suddenly, people started to look deeper into the Unification Church. And when they did, they found out that politicians had some kind of connection or tie to the Unification Church. Now, this isn't just about religion anymore. It became about political influence. It became about money, power, status within the Japanese government. And after this was all released, public pressure and backlash against the Unification Church went viral. And that's when the Japanese government finally stepped in with legal action. But here's the thing. The Unification Church has always been controversial in Japan. Well, not only in Japan, but worldwide. And there's one reason for this. Because you see, the church was actually founded in Korea by Sun Myung Moon. And in this church, founded by Sun Myung Moon, he taught that he was sent to complete the mission of Jesus. And in the Unification Church's theology, Moon was described as a central figure meant to finish the work that Jesus had begun. And because of those teachings, mainstream Christian churches like Catholics, Protestants, Orthodox, they all came together and did not recognize the Unification Church as part of Christianity. And actually, many Christian leaders outright rejected them as a religious movement. And some even called them a cult. Now, here's the thing. Having unusual beliefs doesn't make something illegal, because religious freedoms protect minority beliefs as well. But this kind of helps to put a spotlight on why the Unification Church was so controversial, long before the Japanese government stepped in. So why is this so important for Japan? Well, here's the thing. Japan protects freedom of religion in its constitution, and the government usually avoids interfering in religious matters, unless it's something extreme. And actually, the last time Japan did this was after a major criminal case in the 1990s. But this feels extremely different because this time it was about long-term financial harm to the Japanese people. And this raises kind of a tough question. At what point should a government step in? And how much damage needs to happen before they do? Because really, it becomes a question of freedom versus protection. And let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on this. Does the government have a right to protect its people even from themselves? Or should freedom of religion be valued above all? Because on the one side, families are being financially ruined. That's very serious. And if people are pressured into giving away everything that they have, that really does matter. On the other hand, freedom of religion is a core democratic principle. If governments start to decide which religions are acceptable and which religions aren't, that can become dangerous. And so it really does become a balancing act between protecting its citizens from harm and respecting freedom of religion. And there isn't necessarily a simple answer to this. But what do you think though? Should people be free to make their own choices? Or should the government step in when a religious group goes too far? But here's the thing. Although the Unification Church has been officially canceled, that doesn't mean just like every believer of that Unification Church disappears. Those people probably still hold those beliefs. But because the Unification Church has officially lost its religious status, it sets a precedent. It shows that if the Japanese government believes that a religious group is intentionally and seriously doing harm to its citizens, the government can and will intervene. And this is really new territory in Japan. And other religious groups in Japan are definitely watching. And for me, what personally stands out is this. Complaints against the Unification Church have existed for years. But it took a national incident, the assassination of a former prime minister, to bring this to light. And without that event, would the government have acted this strongly? Maybe not. But sometimes it takes a huge incident to force long ignored problems into public view. And now Japan is drawing a completely clear line about this. And this line is going to shape future conversations about religion and accountability. But what do you think though? Did Japan make the right call in canceling the Unification Church? Or is it a slippery slope when governments decide by themselves to dissolve religious organizations that it deems harmful? And where should that line be drawn? And really, does the fact that so many mainstream churches in Christianity outright rejected the Unification Church change how the situation unfolded? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, everyone, stay waku waku.
And if you want to learn Japanese, then check out my free Japanese cheat sheet in the description box down below, where I share with you the 5 simple but not well-known secrets of how to learn Japanese the fast, fun, and easy way. And you can check that out completely for free. And also, if you enjoyed this video, then you definitely want to check out this next one, where I interview a real-life Christian pastor in Japan and what it's really like being Christian in Japan. And until next time, everyone, stay waku waku.